Susan Eichhorn Young, coming to you from the Voice Studio in Times Square, New York City, with my good friend Tony Howell, who is CEO and founder of Creative Social Media. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So tell me a little bit about what brought you to this business that you've created.
Yeah, well, I always have worked in digital marketing to support myself. So I was always a freelancer doing graphic design, social media management, content creation for businesses and friends, personal brands. And what happened was, the real story for Creative Social Media, I was working for MTI, who I owe like much training and experience to.
So tell everybody what MTI is.
Sure. Music Theater International is a licensing company. They represent about 500 Broadway shows. And essentially, once the show leaves Broadway, they act as the agent for the authors, so that if a tour or a foreign theater or an elementary school wants to do a musical, the writers get paid their royalties. Right. So I was working on about maintaining 400 or 500 shows, all of the synopses and the soundtracks and distributing logos. So I learned a lot of skills in marketing from MTI. And one of the last things that I did was I pitched a series of articles to them of how regional theaters could use social media to get younger subscribers and butts in the seats. So I created Creative Social Media, and the intention is to help artists represent themselves and eventually others online, so that they can learn digital marketing to create their own opportunities and audiences and things like that, and then eventually, just like me, make their own income representing others.
Okay, so go with the social media now.
Okay.
So there is this enjoyable and despicable love-hate relationship.
Yes.
Especially, it seems, with artists in the business.
I think everyone has a love-hate relationship with it, because is it real or is it not? And I'll tell you what I think the common traps are. Two things that I hear a lot. One is that it's overwhelming. It's way too much. It's noisy and it's too technological. The second is that people compare themselves to others. And so there's a psychological thing of like seeing someone else's sizzle reel and comparing it to your own day-to-day backstage reality.
So tell me, what are the 3 biggest mistakes actors, singers do online?
I might have alluded this to earlier, but I think the common mistakes are silence, saying nothing, or feeling like they have nothing to say, shouting, like just bombarding the world with every little thing that you do. And then the third is selling. Like, social media is not about selling. Businesses make this mistake as well. It should be about conversation and communication and creating a community. And what I see artists make, a very common mistake that I actually have been guilty of myself, is that we think that we need to sell sex. That it has to be sexy photos, because actually the engagement does go up, but you're not really shaping your reputation in a great way if you're just sharing all of these sexy photos of yourself. You're not sharing your talent, and you don't have to promote yourself in that way.
If an actor comes to you and says, okay, what 3 things do I need to do online to further my brand or build my brand, what would you say? So
I like to start with the branding, then build the website, which should be functional and designed to impress the audience and showcase you. And then the social media is like the end of it, and it's also the beginning. So social media will bring people to your website to experience your brand, but you have to have those blocks in place before we even talk about what to post on Instagram and Twitter and things like that.
So what does the business expect from the artist online?
I think the business is no different than any business. We do business with people that we know, like, and trust, as well as through word of mouth, recommendations, and referrals from friends. So just to spell that out, brands that we know, like, and trust. I know that I can get the same Starbucks around the world, and I know that if I buy an Apple device, that it's going to be sleek design and high functionality, right? So they've built up my trust. Now, word of mouth, the reason why that's important is you may go get a pumpkin spice latte when your friend says, oh my gosh, it's so good, you're going to love it. Or you may go to a different doctor if you read bad reviews. That's the importance of word of mouth. Or if your friend recommends a book or a movie. So an artist, the way that they can leverage those tools is creating your own marketing. You need to, so that people do know, like, and trust you. And then the word of mouth aspect comes in with mutual friends, having a large network of credibility, testimonials and press on your website. And I think media is also super important. So to have photos and videos of yourself really shows me who I'm hiring. A photo can say 1,000 words. A video doesn't lie. So to have both of those, I think, is more important than just having a resume on your site. I can get that PDF if I need it, but really share who it is that they're hiring and an experience of what it'd be like to work with you.
So with video, you're going to hear a lot of people say, but it's cost so much money.
I understand, yeah, and I'm actually researching all the logistics myself. But the way that I would respond to that is that there's a level of services. So, our videographer, Jordan Grubb, today, he's super affordable, and he's in New York City, and it's professional, high quality, goods. So you really have to go after, some help. And what I would say is you don't cut your own hair. So what makes you think that you can suddenly make a movie or a website or anything like that? So really, I think it's important to invest sometimes in those tools if they're going to represent you long term. And one thing that I can offer you is we have lists on our Twitter at GetCreativeSM. There are lists of photographers, videographers, website builders beyond us, producers, casting, and creatives in various cities. And we also have a list with the social networks, so you can follow LinkedIn and Facebook and get their latest tweets by just subscribing to the list.
Thank you for coming in to do this.
Thank you.
I learned so much today.
I learned a lot from you, so I'm happy to come in and share what I know with other people.
Thank you. You can find us both online, SusanEichhornStudio.com and Tony.
GetCreativeSocialMedia.com.
Get your butts into the voice studio.